So who wants to answer first? But when you're judging the costume contest, what are the criteria that what are you looking for, and what speaks winner to you?
For me personally, I love it when I see fabric-based costumes, because that's like, you know, what I tend to lean towards with my own, you know, cosplays. So I love to, you know, ask them, you know, how long they've been cosplaying for, you know, how did they make it, ask them if they used any, like, you know, weird or unique, like, crafting, like, tools or materials in their costumes to achieve whatever crazy anime or video game defy gravity craziness. Like, I mean, I look for unique stuff. I'm really big into, like, the nostalgia things too. So sometimes when I see stuff from my childhood, I'm like,
I think generally it's stuff like craftsmanship, you know, originality. So like for originality could be like anything from an original design character to, like you said, like using something that you wouldn't normally use for a costume piece. You know, that kind of like original thinking. And then accuracy, like how close are you to the costume. But my big thing that I always tell people is stage presence, because you can have two amazing costumes that you cannot choose between, and it literally comes down to who was not afraid to just go out there on stage and give it their all. So I always tell people, like, just go out on stage, you know, be big, be bigger than life, go out there and have fun with it. Like, even if you, like, fall or mess up, just have fun with it, laugh at yourself, you know, and people will laugh with you. And honestly, just go out and have fun. Don't be afraid, like, because everyone in the audience is rooting for you, so, you know, you don't need to be afraid.
I obviously like tend to go more towards armor, but I also have a lot of fabric incorporated into my costume, so I really like to see a blend, a mixture of materials and lights and a little bit of armor and some like some sewing, and, you know, just seeing that mix and originality and all the things you guys said too, and, you know, the love of the character and having that flow into, you know, their stage presence and what they do on stage and all of that good stuff.
What would you say is the biggest decision when it comes to judging the costume? What's the deal breaker?
there can be like, it could be like a hairline difference. Like between who wins and who doesn't sometimes. Because we try our best to look at literally everything.
It's never just one thing.
Sometimes it just comes down to that one tiny thing that we're all in agreement on of, all right, well, we've found who's going to take best in show just because of this one tiny little detail or something they did. Like, it's like splitting hairs sometimes, it really is.
And it's hard too, like when you're comparing. So I like some costume contests, like the very big ones that get a lot of contestants. Like they tend to break it down into armor and fabric, because it's really hard when you get like an awesome fabric costume and then a really big armor one.
How do you
And it's like it's
that?
hard to compare because it's such different processes, but at the same time, like, you know, something's so big, it's so easy to get impressed by, but then you don't see like the little tiny beadwork that might have taken like hours and lots of blood, sweat, and tears to do. So it's so hard.
Absolutely. It is really hard. I mean, somebody might have spent a month just gluing beads on, or, you know, embroidering this one tiny little section of their costume, or maybe their seams are impeccable. And how do you compare that against somebody who spent 5 million hours on this like one beautiful shoulder piece? It's hard.
You guys are judging the contest. Have you been a part of the contest before as contestants?
That's how I started out, honestly. When I first started going to conventions, it wasn't attending a convention unless I competed in the costume contest. And I did it enough, and, you know, was doing it long enough that I eventually reached, you know, like that master's level, and was like, well, what do I do next now? Like, I judged them, I guess.
Moving on up.
I did them. I did them when I first started out, like just going to conventions, and I think it was Emerald City was the first one I competed at, and like you don't realize how nerve-wracking it is until you actually go out there and compete, and it gives you a better appreciation for all the contestants because you're like, okay, I know how nerve-wracking that is, and but it gives you a better idea of what they're going through too. So there's like that understanding. So I'm glad that I have had that chance to compete before.
Because now I'm like, I don't know if I want to compete.
Now I'm like, I don't know.
It can be very stressful, and it literally eats up your entire weekend because it's all you're thinking about is that competition.
Because you make your costume for that, and then the whole time you're just like,
I'm so glad that I competed way before everyone got so much better. I'm like, now everyone's costumes are tons more better, like tons better than when I first started.
Intimidated?
So I'm like, oh god. Like beginner cosplayer me would be like,
I would wipe this stage with beginner me if I were competing now.
beginner me, I
No
like it.
I've only competed once. I only entered once.
Did you have fun?
I was scared to death. I entered as a couples cosplay, and we did our own original rendition of Pinocchio and Tinkerbell.
oh, that's cute.
It was for WinterCon. So I was Tinkerbell. We did the Sons of Anarchy version. So we had patches that said Sons of Disney.
Oh my god, that's so cute. I love that idea. That is awesome.
But we were not in comparison to Superman handing out presents. We can compete with Santa, Super Santa, who gave out presents. But I understand how nerve-wracking it is, but it was just a lot of fun.
Right?
Yeah.
So I get it, but I think judging would be a lot harder because we're our own worst enemy, and then having other people critique.
Yeah.
Do you feel sometimes a little guilty?
It's very personal too if you're competing and you don't win.
Yeah.
Because like we've all mentioned before, like our costumes are our babies. You pour so much time and money and emotion into building the costumes, and it's hard to not take it personal when you don't win something.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you try your best to remember to go into the contests that you're there to have fun, show off a little, make some friends, then it makes the possibility of losing a little easier. And you know what? It's not the end of the world. Then maybe you know something to do different next time.
Yeah.
It's always a learning
It's the whole
experience.
Yeah. It's not. I don't think anybody should ever go into a contest thinking, I'm gonna win this. This is the bag. Like
so much disappointment that way.
It's like going and taking a test in school, and you're like, man, I aced this, and then you get it back, and you're like, how did I get a D? Like, that's true. But if you go in there and you're like, oh, I didn't study so well, and then you get like a B, you're like, oh yeah.